So Cindy and I are going to be married this coming June for 37 years. Clap for her. Yeah. Yeah, I am not an easy dude to live with, that's for sure. So, did I ever tell you about the first date that we had? Well, I'll tell you about the first date we had. So I'm not going to tell you how I asked her out because that's its own story. So the day of the night of when we were going to go out, it's all set. And I was like super nervous, super duper nervous. I wanted this to go well. And so I did all the things that I do to try to get ready. I rode my bike to the beach that day. I stayed at the beach, went and worked out. Man, I felt so good and I was ready. And then it started raining. You know, one of those South Florida, just torrential downpours. It was pouring. And I was thinking, man, I don't know if we're going to be able to do this because the streets weren't flooded, but there was a lot of water in the streets. But she was game, so I said, okay, I'll do it. And went and picked her up, got in the car good. Nothing bad happened there. We're driving along, and we're chatting, kind of first date chats, and driving along. And all of a sudden, I hear something from the car. You know, like if you hear something fall off a car? Did you ever hear that? Well, I heard it, and I thought, well, she had to have heard that, but she didn't say anything. And I thought, well, she didn't say anything, and the car kept going. So I thought, couldn't have been important. If we're still going, I'm not stopping. And if somebody must have found whatever it was, because we just kept going, and we made it to the restaurant. And it was a relatively new restaurant, so it was super crowded with people. And we made it inside. And I have to admit, super crowded restaurants are tough for me. I have a hard time because I can't focus on a conversation. There's too much noise, too many things going on, too many loud things, and it just draws me away all the time. And so I started to get a little nervous. I'm like, God, man, I'm not going to be able to pay attention at all. And that's not good. But we ordered, did all that stuff, and started talking. And it was so easy. For me, anyway, it was so easy just to chat and talk and get to know her. And pretty soon, it was as if it was just she and I in that restaurant. Just us two. All the other stuff had just kind of faded away. Right? And I don't know if we talked for 15 minutes or for 4 hours. I'm not sure. Because time faded away. And it was so beautiful to just be in that moment. Right? Well, unbeknownst to me, that moment is called a flow state. Have you ever heard of a flow state? Right, so a flow state is this guy went and did some research, and he asked the question, what helps life feel deeply engaging and meaningful? What helps life feel deeply engaging and meaningful? And he found that when people were in this flow state, life was deeply engaging and meaningful. So that state is, you're not worried about yourself. You're not self-conscious. You're not worried about somebody else. You're not worried about what's going to come next. You're in that moment. Time in that kind of flow state, time is irrelevant. It's no longer our master. It just doesn't matter because you're so deeply engaged with whatever it is you're doing in that moment. Because of that, things like time just fade away. So, and the thing about flow state is it has a deep intrinsic value. So it's valuable to you. Somebody else might not be having the same experience, but you are. The athletes we know out there call it being in the zone. right? Being in the zone. But you can get into the flow state through gardening, through reading, through meditation, through a beautiful, beautiful piece of music like these guys just sang the psalm, that psalm, right? So writing music, playing music, listening to music, being engaged with it, dancing, praying, anything that takes you into that state. And when you're in it, you know it. In our gospel today, Jesus says, I have come that they might have life and have it abundantly. For me, abundant life is that flow state. And following Jesus, for me, opens me up to that state. I have come that you might have life, and you might have life abundantly. And I hope you find that today. And if you need some help, come to Evensong. Evensong's a great place for it. And if that doesn't do it for you, give me a call. We'll work it out, right? All right. Amen.